Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we are playing Blue-White Tempo Cats. We have Ocelot Pride, Guided Souls. These two cards combo really hard together. And of course, Ajani Nakatl Pariah, whom we can flip by playing a second Ajani Nakatl Pariah, legend rolling it, or whom we can copy with Mockingbird to create another token and also flip over into the Planeswalker. We don't have red in the deck. I did not want to play kind of mediocre cards like Voice of Victory in order to just have red permanents, but we do have a whole lot of blue cards. We've got a great blue count of, I think, like 26 cards. So we've got 4 Mockingbirds, 4 Tamiyo. She's so broken, you can't not play her. I tried several times to build lists like this without her, and it just did not work. She is too powerful to ignore. And then we've got a couple Brazen Borrowers, in addition to the best removal in the format, Plow. So the mana base is very simple. It's just 1 Plains, 1 Island, a bunch of fetches, 4 Tundras, and 4 Wasteland. And you'll note that we're not playing a Surveil land. We're only 18 lands. We just want to go fast. So the sideboard is lots of flexible tools, Prismatic Ending being kind of a catch-all against like tempo decks, also very good against opposing Tamiyos. We have 2 Containment Priests for graveyard strategies. That's not a lot of graveyard hate, but what I've found is with Plow, we can actually often overpower Blue-Black Reanimator. When they Entomb Reanimate, then we just Plow the creature and we can go so wide that we can just win anyway. So I think 2 is probably okay. I've got 3 Force Negations. I've got a single Harbinger of the Seas that can come in, and I've got a couple Null Rods. You might be asking why not play Kalarian Conqueror. It's because we're playing essentially like 8 Planeswalkers here, and I don't want to screw with those. And also this does come out faster and it's harder to remove by Kozilek's Command. So we're going to play a full 5 rounds. As always, see you in round 1. Round 1, we're on the play against a likely Blue-Black Reanimator player. It's everywhere. Get used to it. This hand is fine. We've got Ocelot Pride into follow-up Ocelot Pride. We've got Plow. I think this is fine. They said, thanks for the content. So fan of the channel. Let's go ahead and keep this. Again, I don't like the fact that it has so many lands, but we don't have a lot of ways to get ahead other than our Planeswalkers in terms of card advantage. So I do want to go ahead and just fetch a Plains here since we don't have daze. And then we just don't have to worry about them wasting us or anything later. We can just play on basics. And of course, this is not the one you want to start with, but it's okay. My hope is next turn we can ponder into something that can prevent a Bowmasters from coming down, but there's a decent chance that they're on Blue-Black Reanimator. They're not playing main deck Bowmaster. Thoughtseize, okay. So this is probably going to take our ponder. It might take our Plow. Took our Mockingbird, interesting. So they are scared of the fair plan. That's a horrible draw. Unfortunately, I don't want to show that that's what I drew. So I'm just going to go ahead and get my island here. And I'm going to ponder. And we're going to see if we can find another creature. If they're afraid of this fair plan, Brainstorm does fix a lot. So we'll put this back. I guess, do I want to preserve the Brainstorm from a subsequent Thoughtseize? It is pretty important. Yeah, so I'll draw the Plow. Then I'm going to attack for 1. I'll get a dude, and we'll pass with Plow up. It's quite possible that they just Bowmaster this next turn, which would be very sad, but very likely. Okay, we get our dude. Still quite a ways from the City's Blessing. We would be a lot closer had they not taken our Mockingbird. But because I opted to fetch, yeah, and this is precisely why I kept the Brainstorm where I did. I'm glad I did. So we can dump these lands here. We're only going to be able to, well, we're going to shuffle. Okay, that's pretty good for us. They've been a force. They're scared of what's on board. So I'm going to play this out just in case. They know my hand's garbage. Daze is not the best, but better than lands. Yeah, land doesn't do anything for me here. So I'll put these back. I'm just going to attack. And then what we'll do is, they could be on black with just, no, they have force. They definitely, yeah, I'll just chill. So I've essentially got Plow plus Double Daze up. That's not terrible. They're at 12. They scooped. Wow, they scooped that. They must have not had much going on over there. So I'm going to assume that they're on blue-black Reanimator. And I'm going to bring in the Containment Priest. I'd love to be wrong. I'd love for them to be on blue-black tempo. I think dazes come out here. They don't need a lot. And that gives us Prismatic Ending, which takes care of Tamio. I think that's how we do it. Yeah, they didn't see daze. So they might not play around it. We could keep the dazes in. I think it's better to just be able to remove like Bowmasters and be able to remove Tamios. One problem with Containment Priest is she doesn't address Murktide, but we do have Plow in the deck. I thought about putting Static Prison in here, which is 1 white mana, exile target permanent. You get like 2 energy, and every upkeep you pay an energy for it. So you could put like that would be okay, but we have Brazen Borrower, and I feel like Brazen Borrower is practically as good and pitches to force. This is okay. I'm gonna keep this. This does not have a path to white that is uninterruptible with Wasteland, unfortunately, but this hand is fine. You can't really mull to like force if you're afraid of like the combo. You can't really, because their deck is just so well rounded. All right, so I am going to go ahead and attempt to put this Ocelot Pride on the stack. It might bring out the daze here, but they did respond adversely to it last time. Okay, they may have just Bowmaster. And if they Bowmaster, that sucks, but I'll have another one. Okay, surveilling. They kept. Okay, they kill Ocelot Pride. Force is a good draw. I think I'm going to go ahead and Ocelot Pride and then just waste them. Since I have Ponder up, I could also just wait for a turn because they might have more lands. Wasting them may not accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. I think I played the Unimpeachable Mana, and then we have Force Protected Daze. We also have Brainstorm in case of an emergency. I'm going to just play slow. I need to be able to force reliably a Bowmaster. It's like really bad for my deck. Okay, so if they bin a land, they don't bin a land. It's hard to know. They could have anything. Their deck has so many dimensions to it. There's the Entomb. I'm not going to force the Entomb. I know it sounds weird, like why wouldn't you force the Entomb? But we could draw a Containment Priest, and we can just force the Reanimate. I will be pitching the Ponder because I can always Brazen Borrow it back to hand if absolutely necessary, but they will pull many cards ahead. Okay, so I am going to be wasting them, but if they have a second Reanimate, the game's over. I have the Brainstorm Tamio combo. I'm going to go in for an attack. I'm going to play out a Tamio, and I'm going to waste them. I probably should have actually kept the Tundra untapped. So if they waste me, then I can still Brainstorm to save her. Are they going to waste me here? Reanimate. I think this is look for a force. This will flip Tamio, unfortunately, which means I get a 0-clue Tamio. Yeah, and then if this fails, I can Brainstorm. Yeah, I'm going to do it. We didn't get there. That sucks. We have lots of gas. We just sacked the... No, wait, we don't have to sack anything. Yeah, if they waste here, then we can Ponder. We might take a hit or two. Actually, it's flying, so it can attack Tamio. I can Mockingbird to copy this. I'm going to assume that they're going to waste us and that I'm just going to have the Mockingbird to block. I don't think we're winning this game. If they don't waste for some reason, like let's say they find something appetizing and they want to use this mana, then Brazen Borrower doesn't answer the Atraxa. You might be saying, oh, you should have just forced the Entomb. And that's conventional wisdom, 100%. Like with other decks, I would have forced the Entomb, but they had to have 2 different reanimation things. And a lot of times, you force the Entomb and then or the reanimate, and then you're effectively getting like a 2 for 2 instead of a 1 for 2. Okay. So Guided Souls is pretty slow at this point. It does combo with this, but it's just, I think it's too slow. And I think we're going to lose our white. So I'm going to put that back. And then Brazen Bar is very important in case they find a Thoughtseize. Yeah, keeping Tamio around is not the highest priority. Getting the Atraxa out of play is. Okay, so this flips. They get this back. See the damage. They did find a Thoughtseize here. They found a Tommy. They found another Wasteland. It'll be interesting to see what they keep here, but I'm pretty sure they're going to Wasteland here. Everything they found is 1 mana. They chose Underground Sea, Tamio, Ponder, Fatal Push. Okay. Yeah, and they are wasting here. So, unfortunately, I think we're basically dead. I'm going to plus here. So, if we attack, if we copy, then we attack. We do get one extra dude. Is that worth it? The other option is I could Ponder to try to find a land. And it's probably going to be like a land that I can tap for blue. Yeah, I think I have to Ponder here. They didn't show daze earlier. They could have a daze in hand. This doesn't work, unfortunately. We need to shuffle. That plow is great if we survive a turn. I'm going to hope that they go for Tommy and we get to plow this and that they somehow don't have a force. I can't attack in. I just have to chill. So Tommy's dead. They did not take the Thoughtseize. Because if Tommy dies, they gain 6 life. Of course, it has flying and vigilance and like tons of other keywords on it. So Underground Sea. Fatal Push. It's going to be hard to recover because they can Tamio here, and then they've just got the Tamio engine, even if we remove this. We have to get lucky and draw a plow here, or a land. We did get lucky and draw a land. I'm just going to go get a white source here. And I'm going to attempt to give you a whole bunch of life, opponent. That worked. Mockingbird copying Tamio does give us a clue draw engine, but if we brainstorm for any reason or ever draw too many cards, it does kill the Mockingbird. I think they've got a Ponder in hand. 4 other cards. Yeah, I think we just have to pass, sadly. But we're not wastelandable anymore, which is nice. Yeah, look at our sad little cat token. So I wouldn't be surprised if they flip Tamio here, but I can borrow her back to hand. Assuming they haven't drawn a daze or don't draw a daze off this clue or the brainstorm that they're about to or the Ponder. So they find the second Ponder, then Tamio flips. They have more life than I do at this point. I don't think we're winning, but I'm not going to concede because there's like some small chance, like we're maybe like 2 or 3% chance to win this game. And borrowing this back to hand doesn't even really accomplish that much. They drew a lot of cards there. They probably found like a daze. So now I think we have to bounce this. We could wait, but they could also use this to regrow like a Thoughtseize or something. I think I'm going to just go for it now. I don't want to have to force them on the way back down. And I don't want to have to force fight over this if they have a daze. Okay. There's no point in attacking because it'll get debuffed. We'll just pass. Oh, what are we drawing to? We're drawing to our creatures that are really good. Hopefully we could find one of those. Like a Johnny would be good. And then I could like Mockingbird a Johnny. They Ponder. We're drawing to creatures that like do a little bit of damage. They're drawing to Archon of Cruelty coming in for 1 mana. They've sculpted so much. I find it hard to believe that they don't have just the nuts in their hand right now. Okay, they're opting to do all this before they cast Tommy. They could have flipped her right here. I actually really hope they play like a Bowmasters or something like that, but I think they're just going to play Tommy. Another land. Okay, interesting. So I think they have Bowmasters. So I'm reading this. That's not great. I will come in for a hug. So Bowmasters can bring this, or now I can afford to bring out my Brazen Borrow if I want to do that. Okay, here's Bowmaster. Oh, Bitter Triumph? What? Just to get the Archon in the graveyard? Okay. Yeah, I mean, that works. So I'm going to attempt to force the Reanimate. I kind of have to if I want to survive. Emperor of Bones is pretty good because it can just put that under there and adapt. Am I really forcing a freaking Emperor of Bones? Let's see, whenever one or more I can't let it come into play. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, exile up to 1 target creature, and then they can adapt it. I mean, it sucks, but it has to be done. It sucks. It really sucks, but I have to force this because this just puts the Archon and it shreds my hand. Like, it comes into play and it also does other stuff. So they've got 5 hands to my nothing. Okay, they're going to play Tamio out. I am going to go ahead and play my Bowmaster. I think there's a decent chance that they're not playing Bowmaster if they're playing cards like they're playing more removal than I would expect. Okay, let's go get our Tundra, and I'm just going to attempt to play this into a daze most likely. But this does prevent Tomio from attacking if they don't have a cantrip. I think I just hold it back. The damage is not the path forward here. Yeah, we just have to chill and hope that they don't attack with Tomio. Or maybe they clear this. And at any point, they can just draw yet another removal spell. This could be a giant Murktide, which we can deal with Plow. We still have 3 plows or 2 plows. No, 3 plows in our deck. Yep. Tomio doesn't have a good attacks. We're 2 turns from death. Containment Priest is really good if they get hasty. I'm just going to chill. We're going to see if we can get out of this. It's possible they make some sort of dramatic sequence and Containment Priest can jump in and save the day. So I'm going to block this. They're probably just going to have a brainstorm. Yeah, of course. Good game. I'm not going to play this anymore. All right. So on the play, I think Daze is good. They're doing some like bigger mana things. We had to turbo them. I hate to say it, but I think Containment Priest could come out. It seems weird, but I think we need to adjust to just like turboing them because we're a tempo deck and they are a tempo deck that has like, it's a control deck and a combo deck and a tempo deck all in one. Prismatic Ending can stay. That's good. Well, that actually doesn't help us against, what's he called? I feel like it's a huge punt to take these out, but at the same time, if I want to go fast, we could take out some Ajani's. I don't want to take out Mockingbird since it's a blue card. Take out an Ajani. Take out one of these. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, give me a fast hand. This is a Nikotl with Daze. I'm going to keep this. They mulled a 6. I'm not going to fetch any basics. If they find their Wastelands, and they generally play 3, that is destiny. White mana, Nikotl. I will Daze Tomio. Would you like to Daze back? I will Plow if you Daze back. Okay, good. Every turn that we're swinging in and doing damage is a turn that things are moving forward. I am going to Ponder here. I'm definitely attacking either way, so I'll just do that. I am looking specifically for... Daze is pretty good. I think I take the Daze, and next turn I have the Mockingbird. And Mockingbird can copy this, and I'll still have something up, even if they waste me. All right. Skin of our teeth. Got our 2 dudes in. Emperor of Bones. I think this is a Daze. They can always reanimate it later. We just don't want blockers. Like, we can't countenance any blockers because our creatures are so weak. We know the top card is not a good one, so I want to fetch. And then I do think we go ahead and just keep the turbo squeeze on. Okay, Mockingbird's going to copy Ocelot Pride. We get 2 dudes now. We have a flyer now. In case they play Emperor of Bones again. Brainstorm. Okay, so glad I don't have Tommy looming around. Tommy solos our entire deck, basically, if she flips. Because she debuffs the entire squad. I played a league that I 4-1'd where the final round I lost because my opponent was able to flip Tommy. Okay, so this might be pretty bad if they get a Trax. They're going to get a bunch of cards. I will be able to plow a Trax out of the way, hopefully, and then just keep beating them. Okay, they got Archon, which is not as good as Atraxa. This is fine. So I am going to discard a Ponder here. I have to hope that they don't have a force. Otherwise, things are bad again. It could be that Ponder is actually better in case we need to find... We're not going to find a force. I could bin this. No, I can't let them daze my plow. Yeah, I'm going to keep the Ponder. Okay, well, that actually works out fine. They use 2 cards to get 2 cards. They're going to get a bunch of life. It's an unfortunate draw. Let's go ahead and attempt this. Okay, wow. We're not that bad off. I'm going to go ahead and ponder now looking for a daze. I probably could have done that first actually because they were tapped out. So I think what I just did was loose, but they could have dazed me back. Let's find daze. I think this is a shuffle. I mean, we have this Tundra that doesn't do anything in our hand. Maybe we have to brainstorm. Like if they have a Bowmaster, which I don't think is in their deck, but if they have a Bowmaster, this brainstorm is atrocious. But we can brainstorm and we can pry it again, and then we'll go so wide that their head's going to spin. Yeah, I think that's what we do. And we can even put Misty in our hand so they can't Thoughtseize us. All right. Oh, I shuffled accidentally. That was dumb. I'm sorry, my excellent friends. Yeah, that was really dumb. I definitely wanted that brainstorm to turn this Tundra into a usable card. Fatal Push. Okay. They got rid of one of them. This Merc. Okay. So this is not death, but it is close. Let's see what we draw here. There's a daze that is pretty damn dead. I'm going to go ahead and just play the Guide of Souls out. So if I swing in, it doesn't matter because I don't get the creatures at the end of the turn. So yeah, we're going to have to wait and see if they swing in. I think it's extremely unlikely this daze does anything, unfortunately. Imagine me brainstorming and shuffling that stuff away. I feel so embarrassed that I screwed up my hotkey again. I haven't done that in a while. They're keeping the top, which is bad news. They may have the other Fatal Push. We'll take it. I'm not going to block. They have 2 cards in hand. Beargoyf is a good card to have. We can swing in, gain life, get a bunch of stuff. Okay, so we mock the Barrow, and that can take care of stuff in the air. They have 1 card. Could be daze. I think the flying Beargoyf is going to be pretty damn good. We can even let him swing, and then we just hit him back. Let's think about this. Because if we copy the Coddle, I mean, this is never going to connect, so it doesn't matter. They just gain life off of it. So we can largely ignore it. I think copying Guide of Souls might be better than copying this because, no, we get a ton of dudes, and then we can just go extremely wide. But we only gain, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we'll definitely have the City's Blessing. We will gain a lot of life off this because we're going to get, I think we get like 4. So this flies. They have to be able to remove it immediately or else I think we might be able to win. But they still have lots of outs. They can do lots of stuff. Let's end. So first trigger. Then we get the other ones. Okay, and then we get a whole lot more triggers. Okay, we're going to be hitting them for a lot. They shouldn't even swing in with the Merc. Thoughtseize. Have at it. What is your last card? They should not have attacked there, I don't think. I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm going to block. So I think they're dead. Let's see. I only have 7 energy, so I can only power up 2 of these things. There's another berry. It doesn't matter because Beargoyf is really bad against this deck, thankfully. So I just plow this out of the way, and then I can hit with a lot. Okay, so we just hit with both of these, which I will pump up. I can only pump 1. Okay, and now we get a lot more life. We get a lot more tokens. And we can start swinging. Yeah, we can just pump 1 up every turn. I'm never going to let them connect, though, because I don't want them to get card advantage. Oh, no! They are going to connect. Okay, but I can still hit them back in the air and get a bunch of tokens. I have the City's Blessing. So I'll take 10 here. They get a lot of looks at potential cards. I'm not going to block. I need to use this ability. So we'll see what they find. If they find like a... Okay. They whiffed on the first one. They whiff on the second one too. Wow. That's super lucky. That's an unfortunate rip. I'm not going to show them what I have. Just going to go to combat here. I think we're going to win. Oh, that doesn't attack. Wait, this can attack. There's no downside to this attacking. It's extra damage. I'm not going to block either of these. Not with these. I'll block them with the tokens. Let's gain some life. And then we'll create, I think it's 4 tokens that we get. 1, 2. Gain a bunch of life. Oh, we get 6 tokens? Okay, so we get 6 tokens every turn. That's pretty good. What are the point where we could just like kill one by blocking? That might make sense. I don't think that they can win anymore. Unless they have, like, if they can somehow kill, like, these cards, they can win. They're reanimating that guy, but he didn't have anything to target. I don't have any creatures in my graveyard. That's fine. They take 2. They get this. Yeah, there's not a single creature in any graveyard here to target. Wait. Oh, they have an Ocelot Pride. Okay. So they can put it in play. I am going to start killing these. And they can put that underneath it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and brainstorm now, just in case I can find a plow for one of these. Ajani's pretty good. I think we just keep the Ajani and maybe we shuffle. Do we want to shuffle these away? I guess I can just hold the brainstorm and potentially brainstorm into a 4. No, I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'll attack like this, this, this. Wait, there's no reason to attack like that. And that, yeah. And then I'll just Guide of Souls. We'll buff himself. Okay. We're in. Once I've chump one of the things, Ajani can start doing some pretty cool stuff in terms of, I mean, there's no way, like, I just need to watch the clock, basically, and then I think I can win. They could find another engineered explosives. That would actually be pretty good, because that would flip. Yeah, that would flip this, and then they could attack and kill that. So you're going to probably put Baragwayf under there. It's fine. It's just another chumper. If this flips, then I just put +2 counter on each of them, and then they should be able to attack for lethal. I'm just going to block here. Yeah, they scooped. Yeah, they know what's coming. All right. That was a hard-fought win against the best deck in the format. Let's jump to the second round. Round 2. Once again, we're on the play against an unknown opponent. We have an Ocelot Pride hand. Our hand is almost completely white. I'm tempted to just go ahead and get the planes just to ensure that we aren't disrupted. Yeah, I don't want to risk them wasting our 1 colored source and just sitting here with like a handful of gas. That would be embarrassing. Ocelot Pride, not a bad turn 1 play. And of course, we look like we don't play blue here, because this tempo deck, like with Ocelot Pride, is pretty rare. Oh no, they're on Storm or something. Okay. Well, we'll see what we draw here. We could just Ajani. Is that even meaningful when they are likely on like some sort of show and tell type deck? If I play this out, they can't surveil without me wasting them. I think it is actually correct to just go ahead and play the second Ocelot Pride and try to outscale. And we'll know that they're on Storm for the next game. I mean, like, that's, you live and you learn. They could not be on Storm. They could be on, like, but like, Petal doesn't usually go in a non-stompy deck that is playing fetch lands. Like, these 2 cards don't go together in any decks except for Storm and Doomsday and stuff like that. All right, so we're going to get 2 dudes. And if they want to surveil, they can face the wrath of my Wasteland. The land promises nothing and it keeps its promise. And if they just want to go over our head with a show and tell into like Emrakul or something, then that's the game. But we are mounting a pretty good offensive here. Island, okay. This feels like an Omnitel deck. Like, this seems like the kind of land you would play an Omnitel. Yeah, I see double blue. Oh, yeah, that's fine. So you're telling me there's a chance that we might be able to actually play some Magic here. Best draw on the deck is a Force of Will, because they're not going to expect it, and they're probably not stocking up accordingly. Ha! Yes! Yes! They could absolutely have like Spell Pierce. But I do think I want to go ahead and just get a Johnny out just to further ratchet up the clock and maybe further get them to drop their guard as to like the nature of our deck. So we are going to get the City's Blessing here, I believe. We're going to have exactly 10 permanents because we get the 2 and then we're going to get an extra Cat Warrior token as well, I believe. Or maybe 2 extra Cat Warrior tokens. How does this work? Boom, boom. City's Blessing. And then, yeah, we got a extra. They're dead on board, I think. Come on, put the Show on Tell on the stack. No need to protect anything. Don't have the force. Oh my goodness, that resolved. My force resolved. And their Show and Tell, like I can't see how they come back from this. I think they're dead. Good game. Wow. The stealth force. Okay. So let's bring in our force negations. Let's bring in our consigned to memories. It's pretty meh. I don't like it. Containment Priest comes in. Get in my deck, Containment Priest. I don't actually think Omnitel is going to care about it, but I think it's probably better than a Johnny. Yeah, we got 62 cards. We need to drop something else. Oh, plows come out. Yeah, that's easy. So I guess we can keep some. I probably want to keep these consigns. Just does this matter? I mean, this could shut them off the anti-counterspell land, Mysterized Village, but I did see him playing Valk. I think they might be on Sneak and Show because they did show me the Valk, so maybe it is correct to bring in the Hydroblast. I'm going to take out the consigns. I am not a fan of consign outside of specifically Karnforge and Eldrazi and like Doomsday, maybe Storm, but they're not playing Storm. I don't think it's good against what we're up against. It could be that they play One Ring. That actually could be really annoying, but we do have the Dazes and like all the other counter magic. I'm going to hope that it's enough. Yeah, lots of blue cards and then the creature combo. Let's do it. That force was freaking clutch. I got so lucky there. This hand is not going to work. We're looking for a interaction-rich hand. This is probably good enough because we have... I mean, Containment Priest is pretty meh. But we have Tamiyo at least. We're on the draw, though. I think, yeah, we Tundra, then we Tommy. Then we can Daze if we need to, and we Waste. They might come up with some... If they're on Sneak and Show, then Containment Priest is really good. It could be that they just are playing Sneak and Show with 2 basic islands. I think the play is to put back I'll put back one of the Wastelands. This is a blue card for Force. We're most likely going to draw a land, and we don't even need... Like, I'll Tommy, and then I'll probably Containment Priest, and then I'll probably just Waste. Let's see what they fetch here. Okay, yeah, they're afraid of our Wastelands, which makes sense. So Tommy is just insane in this matchup because she just gets down and like starts to outdraw them. If they don't like, and if she flips, she ends the game faster than a flip Delver. She goes 4, 6, 8, dead. 4 turns. So it's actually 3 turns from when she comes out that you're dead. Okay, Mockingbird is a blue card for Force. I am going to fetch the white because I'm going to need it for Containment Priest here. Now you're going to see that I'm actually like almost completely blue. I just had a very white hand. Ancient Tomb, this could be a quick one. Stock up. I'm not going to interact with that because interacting with it means that I don't get turn 2. Well, no. I can cut them off that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Because if they're looking for land, then this will satisfy that. They have Simian Spirit Guide. Okay, I'm convinced that they're on Sneak and Show. So this Containment Priest will be good. But I do think we still need to waste them off Ancient 2. And then we just have to get lucky and find another land. I got 18 lands. So we've got 15 lands and 52 cards. So that's like 3 turns to find our Containment Priest. But cutting them off Wasteland is going to potentially buy us like 2 or 3 turns. Huh. That's so lucky. Land. All right. And then we're defenseless if they just have another Ancient Tomb. But if they don't, and we get 2 turns, then we have Containment Priest out. And at that point, it becomes harder for them to win. Love it. End phase, brainstorm, see if they find a fetch. And if the game goes on long, then these clues matter. But it's quite possible these won't even do anything. because we've got our mana accounted for the next. I mean, this we'll see what we draw. Hopefully, we draw like a Hydroblast or something. Oh, such a good draw. I guess I could have technically led with the Wasteland just to scare them off from surveilling. I think they're going to surveil. They aren't. Interesting. Brainstorm again. That's fine. Okay, Mistrise is really annoying, so I'm glad I have the waste for that. Question is, do we want to waste now? I think we... I mean, there's several turns away. We could just Containment Priest first. I feel like with the double force, though, it's an error not to waste them. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and waste. It sucks, but like this will come out later. If they show and tell, they could put, what's it called? Sneak attack into play, and then I have Containment Priest coming in, and that shuts off Containment Priest. If we ever do find mana and start to correct these clues, we'll pull very far ahead. They got another non-basic. They kept their top. Okay, now they have the mana. What's it going to be, friend? That is a force. They force back. Okay, and sadly I have to force back as well, leaving me naked. Okay, so they have to have some sort of threat in hand that they're trying to enable. That's a good card for later, but we're shields down here. Tell me it was actually accomplished nothing. It would, in some respects, be better if I had even played her out. But if the game goes longer, all right, they don't have the monster, or they're not the means to enable the monster. Hydroblast is a great rip. Now we have both Force Negation and Containment Priest up. We're going to get the City's Blessing immediately, whoever find the Nicodle. Come on, land. I will play this Guide of Souls. No. Yes, I think we need to progress the game. I still have Force Negation up. There's a decent chance nothing happens here. Yeah, we will have 10 permanents if we play the Nicodle, and that will immediately start going off. She has to dodge. Okay. The way they did that makes me think that they have interaction, which there's nothing we could do about this, unfortunately. Okay, wow. All right, give me a land. I'm pretty sure they're going to try to win through creatures. Okay, that's great. The question is, do we go ahead and try to stick it now, knowing that they could have like some sort of spot removal, or do we wait until it's on the stack, knowing that they could draw into stack interaction? I think I'm going to chill, because I could get them to invest a lot of resources in... I'm going to draw a card. This might look greedy. Daze, okay, not bad. Let's find a blue card. I think here we do want to keep up the stuff, so I'm just going to come in for another hug. Oh man, this is intense. Yeah. I'm going to wait. They fetched to 12. Yeah, playing this out doesn't really accomplish anything. Currently, we're looking for Nicodle. This like doubles our clock technically, but stock up is going to resolve. You don't daze unless you can stop a spell. That's how I roll. I don't believe in like dazing to deny the mana. I think daze can almost certainly find a better use, even though they have this much mana. Like, just be patient. My dazes almost always convert over a long enough game. And because we've kept the Containment Priest in hand, they don't know what they're looking to stop. Okay, that's a good draw. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing here. We would have done a lot of damage with the Containment Priest, but I don't think it would have been like enough. So currently I have 2 points of interaction, and if I draw a card off clue, it's like if they pass one more turn. So here is where I'm going to move. And then we can let this resolve. And if it's Omniscience, then we just start counting the stuff that... I mean, do they have Omniscience? What are the chances? They're playing Sneak Attack, so I think they're playing creatures. They tried to resolve a Sneak Attack earlier. I think their card is a... Okay, the fact that they let that resolve tells me that maybe I should go ahead and force this, because they thought about it for a minute and then they let it resolve. I'm going to go ahead and do this. And then if they pyro, I can daze. Okay. They let it go. So maybe I just unnecessarily burned my creature there. Options. They are going to take 3 here, but we Guided Souls, and then they could take 5 instead. That denies us a draw. Daze would be our only protection. I think it does speed up the clock a lot by 2 turns to play these out. And this gives us the ability to buff our Containment Priest to the point that it can't easily die from, like, let's say they have Bolt or some sort of like kill all creatures, like Brotherhood's End or something like that. Containment Priest is really the only permanent on our table that really matters. Okay, next turn we'll hit him for lethal. They're dropping to 5 here. It's scary only having Daze, but they have to do a lot of things here. They have to remove this, and they also have to combo. And we have a Daze. They said, GG's, we got it. This traditionally is a very bad matchup for like blue kind of tempo control decks. Yeah. That feels great. See you in round 3. We're 2-0. Round 3, we're up against a fan of the channel. On the play again. Have we been on the play all 3 of these? This hand's not very good, though. So against an unknown opponent, I just don't think this isn't what our deck does. We can't play scared. This is what our deck does right here. I think we just put back a Ponder and we open Tommy. Let's see. So, I mean, we could flip Tommy with double Ponder. Maybe we put back a Johnny. Since Johnny could potentially get dazed. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And I will play off a basic island. I'll probably fetch the Tundra for the second one so I can double Ponder. But just in case they have a Wasteland, I don't want my prey to be rained on. Just because we're playing a tempo deck doesn't mean we need to play recklessly. Thundering Falls. Okay, this is traditionally in... They kept. Okay, this is traditionally in what we just faced, Sneak and Show. I do think that there's a lot of merit in wasting that rather than flipping Tomio. Let's think about this. I think I'm going to Ponder first and see what my top cards are. Considering that we don't have... This is a shuffle. Let's see what we draw. Force. Okay. Now I'm a little more inclined. Yeah, I'm just going to waste this. Because we have our next land for the next one. And if we can slow them down and accrue clues, that's a path to victory. Okay, Taiga. Okay, gamble. I'm going to let the gamble happen. So if they have LED... I may just force that. Okay, the discard Underground Sea. Interesting that they decided to pass. All right. That's not a good draw. Do I want to get on the table with Ocelot Pride? I'm going to go ahead and attack first. And then I think I need to hold up Ponder just in case I don't find a blue card on top. And I can go ahead and... I could develop Ocelot Pride. I think it's worth doing. Because we do have to win somehow. There's a good chance that we're going to get spun here. But hopefully our Force blue card can disrupt the spinning. Okay, so they are probably on like just the straight up Epic Storm is my read. So now we could clone this and go to Token Heaven. I kind of think that's okay. And then we still have the card draw. Yeah, my opponent's driving to Eternal Weekend from North Carolina, which is very close. They said their friend got a hotel immediately. Yeah, I do want to go ahead and clone this. Mockingbird is so cool. So we're going to immediately get like a ton of cards, and we're not worried about their constructs anymore. We're actually going to get extra clues too. Check all that out. Yeah, and now we get even more. Yeah, look at that. Mockingbird is so good. There's like, they're going to have to go off right now if they want to stand a chance, because we're going to draw tons of cards, and I don't think we're going to hit them for lethal, but we're going to hit them for a lot. Mox Opal, they are planning to go right now, which makes sense. I don't think there's anything I could draw into that would matter here because they have plenty of mana. Haywire Might is fine. That's just like one of their Saga targets. Are they not going to go? Okay, well that works out great for me. I'm going to go ahead and get an island here, or Tundra, and I'm just going to crack a clue. And I'm going to see if I can get double Force going somehow. Okay, that doesn't give me double force. So we draw here. Okay, that's double force. We don't have the mana though. So this is a flyer. We only need one of these to trigger, like the life gain to trigger. So I don't have to attack with the one that can't fly. They can create a dude and it'll be pretty big, but I don't really care if I lose one of these when I'm going to get 6 more. I have double Clue Crack now. I don't want to flip my Tamio. That doesn't accomplish anything. So I'll just do it after combat. So I'm going to attack with everything but that guy. And they're going to lose a lot of life, which might restrict some of their options, but probably doesn't matter. But the important thing is, again, Mockingbird flies. So we have like life gain. So they get a construct. It can chump 1. Okay. And now we have 2 shots at finding the second force. So we get 2 clues, I believe. Yeah. And we get a ton of cats. I am going to go ahead and fetch. I don't think they're playing, but it has to be done. Like if they were somehow playing like Pithing Needle, I would lose the ability to draw a second card. Okay, so they are probably dead on board with the amount of material I have. Maybe not. It's hard to count because it doesn't group these all together for some reason. They're like, here's a random copy and here's a big pile of copies. Looks like 6, 10, 11, 12, 13. But they have enough blockers. They gain life from this when this dies. Opponent got an LED off their... yeah, I think... Are they going to go to combat? I don't think they should attack. Okay, so now... Go ahead and draw a card. Force. Nice. Okay, if we win this game, I have to show them my hand. I don't think there's really any harm. Let's see. There's no way that we can kill him now. If there were a way that we could kill our Nikaido somehow or kill one of these, then we could buff everybody, but it doesn't really make sense to play him when I can just draw off the clues. So I'm just going to... I could be demure and just... No, I'm going to shut off their options. I'm going to attack with all these. Just get their life total a little lower. And I could attack with Tommy. Again, I'm going to get like a ton of chump blockers. So it doesn't really matter. So I'll gain a life off this and then we'll get a ton more creatures. We're going to get a ton more clues. They can block 3 of them if they'd like. But they can't block in the air because... Okay, yeah, they're taking a ton here. Yeah, that's fine. They gain a life. Gain 2 life. Okay, they're at 3. So I was correct that they were able to withstand that volley. All right, so let's get our cats, and they're gonna have to go now. And we're gonna be looking at like essentially a 7-card hand. It's hard for me to imagine a scenario in which we don't win this game. Okay, they are fetching off their Saga. Ocelot Pride's kind of like a 1-card combo against these creatureless decks. I mean, like technically they are playing like Haywire Might and they've got Urza Saga constructs, but left to its own, it just takes over the game so quickly. Definitely the most aggressive costed card like of its kind ever. There was like this like kind of like slime type card that would like generate new slimes every time you connected. But Ocelot Pride is by far the best of these types of cards in my experience. They have another Urza Saga. They have to win right now. So this is the Beseech, which I will counter. So I'm just going to force it. And they can Veil, and then I'll force that. And they're Hellbent. Okay, they're spellbinding to draw a card. Exiling my graveyard probably in the process, which doesn't matter because I don't play Murktide. Who needs Murktide when you got Ocelot Pride? I guess I didn't find what they were looking for. I'm just curious if I drew 2 cards, what I would find. I would not have found a blue card, so there is actually danger there. Okay, so here Consign comes in, Force Negation comes in. They are playing red. We saw Gamble, I believe. And Prismatic Ending is not terrible. Cards that come out, Plows. Oh, Null Rod. Null Rod's probably worth putting in. Johnny, sadly, is going to get boarded out a lot in these unfair matchups. It's really just for fair matchups. And it's definitely the weakest creature in here. Like, this has been a lot of things. This has been, I tried Esper Sentinel. I tried Light Sail, Light Stall, something. Brand new card. Really cool card, but not good enough right now in this combo heavy meta. I mean, it would seem like it would slot right in, but it doesn't. Daze still stays in. We could take these out and we could just go all Ocelots as our win con, because we are bringing in a lot of stuff. I do worry that we don't have a lot of stuff to copy with Mockingbird, but it's just a blue card, right? Yeah, I'm going to take out the guides. I'm just going to go full stopping power. I am a little bit worried about them using the construct plan against me. This goes wide enough, though. It'll be okay. This is definitely the most extreme sideboarding I've done with this deck. And I did do 2 leagues before this. One was a 4-1, one was a 3-2, where I lost twice to breakfast in very close games. This is a snap keep. We can open Ocelot Pride, and we've got Daze and Force consign. The Epic Storm rarely tries to go off turn 1. It's usually going off like turn 3 or turn 4 after it's amassed some resources. I guess I don't have to worry too much about Urza Saga, considering that we're a 4 Wasteland deck. I haven't been playing Wasteland decks lately, so I haven't. Yeah, I think the safe thing to do is probably just waste here and not have to worry about the constructs. Because if they're doing that, they probably have an Ancient Tomb follow. Even one construct becomes kind of a pain when you're trying to connect with Ocelot Pride. If they do it again, I'll probably consign the construct trigger. I said, rude of you, lol. Indeed. LED's fine. Pedal? Oh no, are we going now? Opal? Yeah, it looks like we're going. Defense grid. Sadly, I have to force this. It shuts off all my interaction later. They might wait if they see this. I'm gonna pitch the consign because I can play out Ocelot and still. Okay, wow. I think they were just spooking me. They didn't actually. They weren't ready to go. Okay, so it is actually kind of like a situation where I don't want to use my fetches because I don't want to get lower in life. I'm gonna gain some life off these though. But we literally have Daze protecting us from death, from stormy tendrils. Beseju. What is this? 4 mana. This is a Beseech. So, unfortunately, Daze doesn't do it here because they can just LED. What is their last card? I mean, it doesn't matter. It's going to end up in the yard. I think I have to wait till this is resolved. This could be that... I mean, they could have a 0-drop in hand. They could have a land in hand. It's really unclear to me as to whether I'm supposed to hit this. But they will sack this to create the mana, and then they'll be able to replay these. But they don't... Oh, yeah, because this doesn't get exiled, does it? And if the spell was bargain, you may put the exile card in a hand if it wasn't cast this way. So if they get Gaia's Will, they have the mana to replay. So I need to Daze after this resolves, I think. I'm not sure if I'm doing this correctly. But that way, like if it's Gaia's Will, I let it resolve. And then I Daze the first thing they do, and this LED goes into exile. And then they don't have Metalcraft. Like I don't think they'll have enough mana to Beseech again. All right, I'm going to let it go. And it's probably just going to be Song of Creation. Okay. So, do we Daze this? Because they just cracked the LED and then they have the mana. No, wait. If I Daze now, they don't have a card in hand. So they can't kick off the chain. Okay, they have the mana. They can pay, but they have no hand. So now we get to... Now they're hellbent. There's no way we can remove that unless we get a Brazen Borrower. Okay, so I think I actually did that right. I think The card they had in hand was an LED, so they would have started going off. So if we waste them, it reduces the possibility, like they can't cast cantrips anymore. I think it has to happen. So now they can't cast cantrip. They draw a card. They can't cast it. It just, they have to discard everything. That's pretty sweet. Next turn, we deploy the second Pride. Okay, and they're going to discard. What do they discard? Another Beseech. Okay. They wouldn't have been able to cast that anyway, so that wouldn't have mattered too much. Okay, now I'm going to play this out. Holy cow, that was so close. And I'm so proud of myself for restraining myself. I guess technically, they would have just gotten something else. They would have paid and they would have gotten something else. Like Guy's Will or something. Okay, so we get a bunch of dudes. They are not long for this world. Okay, we're going to get another turn. This is good. They pitch Burning Wish. Tamio. Just playing it out. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're not going to be able to... Wait, if we play out Tamio, we actually do get the City's Blessing here, which speeds up our clock. So I'm going to play her out. We're also putting ourselves further out of storm range, which is nice. Okay, so now we get the City's Blessing, and then we get a bunch of extra stuff. Okay. They are not dead on board, I don't believe. Force Negation is a great rip. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. Yeah, it's not death, but I'm going to go ahead and come in for a powerful hug. Create a bunch of clues. But like I've already got Force Negation manually cast. So I'm not going to take a chance by drawing. Okay, so they're dead on board. But they can go off with Song of Creation. Like it's when you cast, right? It's not when it resolves. Okay, so that Chrome Mox, I'm going to let it resolve. I need to counter something more consequential. They get 2 cards. This draws them immediately, and then I can't counter anything else for the rest of the turn. I'm giving them Storm in doing so. I think I need to do it though. I mean, what does it do? What does countering this do? It builds Storm. I don't think it really accomplished anything there. I think we could have just sat there. We gave them an extra Storm. If they are able to get to, higher Storm than they would have otherwise been able to because of that, I'll be sad. So now they're up to 3 cards in hand. They have lots of mana. Another Dark Ritual, another up to 4 cards. 5 mana, okay. 5 cards. I think they've broken away. I think they're going to be able to win now. I can't imagine them breaking from here. Their deck is almost all spells. Very close game. Hitting that Mox, would that have been consequential if I'd forced that Mox? No, they would have just veiled it probably. I mean, I could have forced it immediately. Maybe that was the play though. I can't remember the exact sequence, but we keep them off black. Maybe I should have just forced the Mox. All right, so I'm going to concede. This is over. All right, that was a cool game. All right. Going back, the Pride has been very good to me in these creatureless matchups. I think this has to do. I mean, it's a janky hand. But Consign and then No Rod, they have things they can do to get rid of it. This seems so janky. I can't do this. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Always have faith that your mulligan won't completely destroy you. So we're not going to be able to play the Pride out. I'd rather play the Tamio out. I think Ending goes back. Yeah, I'm going to put Ending back. And I can Force Negate if I absolutely have to. I think I want to get on the table with... I mean, actually, I think Ocelot Pride is better here because it just starts the clock. So let's go get our Tundra, and I'm just going to Ocelot. Tamio, I'm not even sure if I'm going to find a second land. There have been games where I played Tamio out and then created a bunch of clues and never been able to cash them in. But Ocelot Pride doesn't require any mana. Ocelot Pride just goes and makes more Ocelots. Okay. So we're going to get a Kraken with Ocelot. That's great. Now I can Tamio and hold up. But I'm kind of thinking just make it an Ocelot. Make another Ocelot. So we get double Ocelot. It significantly increases our clock. I think it I haven't done the math, but I think it increased the clock by like 3x or something, playing the second one. And this one's a flyer too. All right, we got a flying ocelot as well. We get 2 tokens. We got 2 points of interaction here. Urza Saga. Let's see what we draw. It's a force. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We play this out. It's still not enough. I think I just hold it. You're going to have double force up. I'm just going to keep beating with my ocelots and get a really wide army. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to beat with this one starting next turn because they'll probably have a blocker. So we're going to be hitting for 6 next turn. They've been a Veil. Construct Plan is not going to work out for them if that's the direction they're trying to go. They do need to proactively cast, broken storm stuff. Powerful storm stuff. Okay, they're passing. Another one. So now we have consign plus double. Yeah, I'm just going to come in. Yeah, no reason to attack. So I'll just attack and then I'll pull that out of combat. We'll deal. So we're dealing 5 here. And then next turn, I think they're dead because we're going to have like 10 of them. That's fine. If they want to trade one for one of our dudes. Actually, does that keep us off the... That might actually keep us off the City's Blessing. Let's think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we need to play out this Tamio. And then we get it. That was a good play on their part. City's Blessing and... Okay, there we go. Now I think they're dead on board. They're floating. I can't replicate a consign anymore. Petal. Opal. Mox. I only have 1 force up technically because I played out the Tamio. Was that worth it? Maybe I shouldn't have done that. To get the extra cats and guarantee they're dead next turn, it's forcing them to move faster than they would normally. I think here this is just a negation. And they may have a second one. In which case I have to like win off consign. But they aren't necessarily going to go straight to Storm. Burning Wish. So yeah, they're all in on this. I'm just going to force it and that'll be the game. I don't believe there's anything they can do. All right. And now we get lethal attack. I believe this is lethal. It may actually be slightly shy of lethal. 1. Okay, they're at 1. I'm going to go ahead and hit their blue source here. So I'm not sure what they could draw to get out of this. They have 1, 2, 3. So we get some... We have a clue token that can rip a daze, basically. That's all that it can find that would be interactive enough. Okay. Yeah, they could potentially like Burning Wish, but I don't think they have enough mana. We're going to see. Yeah, that's the game. Got the GGs and have fun at Eternal Weekend. I will see you in the next round. Round 4, we're 3-0. We're up against an unknown opponent. We had the combo. You don't throw back the combo. I think we open Plains. It's passive, but it does give us Guide of Souls into Ocelot Pride guaranteed. If they just waste us, we're doing nothing. Nothing. I think we want to be aggressive. We probably do want to just get the Tundra. I don't think they necessarily waste into active Ocelot Pride. Yeah, the beauty of being on the play, we don't need to mulligan this hand. On the draw, we probably would want to. They could have Bowmasters, which would be a bummer. We're going to open Guide of Souls, though, and we're going to show our true colors. Maybe this will spook them if they're a combo deck. Like the other 3 decks we played today. Plains. Love it. Respect. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and dig for a land here. Ponder's the best for that. That's great. These cards are all awesome. So I'm just going to stick the Ocelot Pride here, and then I can plow if they try to interact with it, or I can daze it if they try to plow. Mockingbird is more powerful than Ajani. Ajani just never, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, as far as Ajani and my ponders. Like, Wait, did I screw that up? I'm so dumb. I'm sorry, my excellent friends. Yeah, that was a huge punt. I accidentally shuffled. I actually, it wasn't a hockey. It was me actually clicking the wrong thing. Sorry. Oh my goodness. That's a huge punt because we would have the land. We'd have the combo going. Yeah, and they do have the thing. Well, I'm going to daze this. I want to keep this around. Do I? Yeah, I'll daze this and this will remove this from harm's way. And then next turn we can play with the Ocelot Pride. Yeah, that's sad. Okay. They're probably playing... They might be playing that deck that blinks everything. It's pretty good. There's a Johnny. A Johnny's strong, but a Johnny is not as strong as Ocelot Pride going super duper wide. They can just bounce the Johnny out next turn and get the Planeswalker. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play this out. It immediately generates value. And then I'm going to waste the Caracas so they can't bounce a Johnny out. Hopefully they don't waste me back. Now I get an energy and I get a dude. And now we're going to start getting our energy thing going. But we are a turn behind where we should be. That is such a cool looking Plains. I love this space theme set. Okay, they're shocking in or bolting in a Mitch better. Okay, that sucks. So we're really back to square one here. They can attack. I can block. I don't think I block. They're not going to want to like lose their Ajani, so we'll just let that through. They had double plow, which is strong. I can ponder here. I should ponder to try to find another land. Let's not screw up this ponder. I can definitely brainstorm as well. This just has to be shuffled. These are great cards, but we need land. Force is not the worst. I'm just going to come in for one. No, I can't come in for one because they'll just block it. I actually can't attack. All right. Next turn, I guess I can just Guide Souls if I don't have anything better to do. They may be on a black-white version and just be not finding their black. They don't have Ponder and stuff like that to look for lands. Oh, this is brutal. Yep, that is not good. So they're going to come in for another hug here. They could play a second. I punted this so hard. I'm sorry, my excellent friends. I'm not going to give them a Planeswalker. Yeah, I don't want to deal with Felia. She's too strong. I will pitch this Brazen Borrower, which is very far from being cast. Let's see if we get a land. Holy cow, we're so lucky. So I think here, we've already endured one Wasteland. One option I have is to just go ahead and... I mean, I could just go ahead and Guide a Souls here. If they just drew that Wasteland, they would have to draw another one. It's not like they had one in hand. I need to do a lot of stuff. I want to be proactive. They're already at 16. We can hit them for 3 in the air here. And start... Yeah. I do want to go ahead and just be bold and go for my Tundra here. I feel like this game is... Like, our deck is designed to scrap early and keep them in the early game. It's not going to win, like, a long game against their more optimized for long game type deck. So let's go ahead and always yield to these. And then I will pay, buff him, and let's come in. So they're at 3 damage. So they're taking they're at 13. Eventually they will figure out a way to get rid of this Ajani. Hopefully they don't find like Voice of Victory because that gives them red cards and then they can start bolting my stuff with the flipped Ajani. We've been very lucky so far that they haven't been able to get rid of Ajani. I think they're also struggling with land because they wouldn't have played out that Caracas into... Wait, did we have the Wasteland? Okay, wow, that's a lot of mana. I think they're playing the Warp version of the deck. I do need to get rid of some of these cantrips. I'm going to... But if I whiff, it's so bad. Yeah, I'm just going to ponder. They don't have black mana up. Oh my goodness, come on, deck. Where are my lands? They're on my graveyard. That's where they are. All right, lucky. Well, we'll play it out. We can't do anything with it. I will attack for 3 in the air, though. Please don't have something that interacts with this. I really need to keep these alive. These are my entire game plan. Okay, they're at 10. We are denying them potential taps of their Ancient Tomb as well. We have no business winning this game. What the heck are they doing over there with all that mana? Okay, this is a big dude. Is this Solitude? Okay, so 4/5 flying lifelink. If one or more tokens would be created under your turn, twice that many are created instead. That's a high priority plow. It's what that is. I'm going to be pondering for a plow here so we can get rid of that because it's going to be an absolute nightmare for us. So we're just going to continue to take our lumps here. We don't want this flipping because they can create tokens and now they get tons of tokens. Okay, so please give me a plow. I will take that land. I'm going to ponder first. Let's see if we can find the plow. So we have our own Ajani, but it's too slow. I have to any order shuffle this. Then I can brainstorm. I'm going to get an island here just so they don't like completely... I don't know how they would waste me off. Maybe it's being too cautious and that might come back to bite me. Yeah, I'll just get a Tundra. Blue. Brainstorm. Let's show me the plow. Show me the plow. Yes. Okay, we're still alive. So Guided Souls can come out next turn. Nakatl, Ajani's actually better because it like gives us flight to another thing. So the guide can chill. We could actually deploy both of these next turn. So I think I'm going to put back Brainstorm on the bottom. I think we have to win with the material we're looking at right here. And yeah, I'll just draw this. Now let's go ahead and give them some life. Super lucky. I mean, we dug hard. We cast 2 cantrips. Now I'll come in for my aerial damage. We'll hope that they don't draw another giant warp dude. Next turn, we're going to go crazy with energy. We guided souls into the other dude. Like, hopefully there is a next turn. Like, okay, are they not doing anything? Yeah, that gets in. I am pretty scared that they have, like, Solitude. Because, I mean, they're drawing something, right? They could just be bricking, like, hard with lands and stuff. If they find another warp dude, though, it's devastating. Because I know that I don't have a plow coming. What is this? Witch Enchanter, blowing up nothing. Deal. Taking 2 damage. Onslaught Pride. Okay, that's a good card. You didn't gain life this turn. Wow. Did you think that when we like fired in, we go from 3 combo decks to like basically like kind of the mono white mirror? This is awesome. Guided Souls. I think this is maybe the last turn. Let's check this out. We're going to go white, white. We're going to gain 6 energy, and I think we're going to be able to attack for lethal. Yeah, that would have been a lethal attack because we just buffed these 2. Wow. Crazy that I basically threw that game away, and then I somehow managed to get it back. So warping is just a normal casting. It's not like Containment Priest does anything to that. They may be playing stuff but we didn't see anything, so I'm not going to bring these in yet. Cards that are bad, Daze is horrible. We can actually take out all our Dazes. They're going to be bad against the deck that has Ancient Tomb and like really good basic lands and stuff. So maybe we do bring this in. They're not playing Yorion. I'm not sure how good this card is actually against them. We didn't see any artifacts. I think we just bring in the Containment Priests. Yeah, and I think we've immeasurably improved our deck. Brazen Borrower can go after lots of their tokens and stuff. It's not a dead card by any means. Tamio is weak against Karakas, which they probably have at least 2 or 3 in their deck. Like a lot of, well, probably if they're 60 carded, maybe just 2 or 3. This is a mulligan. Oh my goodness, deck. This, I think, is also a mulligan. This is a keep, but it's like the worst keep. So we guide us souls, then we guide. Yeah, so I'll just put back all my blue cards. We do have stable mana. It's just that we only have 1 mana. But luckily, everything in our hand costs 1 mana. So we just 1 spell per turn. Bob's our uncle. Okay, so we're going to guide here. And then we will hope that we can guide again. I'm going to definitely go to Ocelot after this. Hopefully they plow this because I've got a duplicate one. Yeah, okay, that works out well for me. Double white. They have, what's her name? Velia. I can't imagine they would play this way if they didn't have her. So I'm going to just play another Guided Souls and I'll pass. Velia can blink her, but like blink this, but it doesn't really achieve anything. Yep, Felia. If they have one of the warp guys, that's probably the game because they can Felia warp. Yeah, they have the 3 mana. That's the 3 mana warp dude. Okay, they can blink this and then, or they can just blink the token and then this flips. But they don't have red, so I'm not giving up yet. Oh, they can blink that and they can just get another cat. Yeah, that's fine too if they don't care about like flipping to Planeswalker mode. This is not good for us. I think we're very far behind. I wouldn't mind drawing an island. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just Ocelot Pride here, and then I'm going to pass. And they can blink my token, but at least I've got the chain going. Yeah. The next turn, we don't actually have a creature to play to trigger Ocelot Pride. I think we're very close to hitting the concede button here. I think we can concede. Yeah, I feel very far behind. We didn't find the land. Mulling to 5 on the draw. Pretty bad. All right. And this is not a favorable matchup structurally. Like, they're very favored. Because we're trying to do, like, blue stuff. They can just be 100% focused on fair matches, which is so far 1 in 4 matches in this league have been fair. Daze could come back in. I don't think it does. I just think it's a terrible card against them. Because we're setting ourselves back, like, yeah. All right. Would love to get the basic lands under me and then just Mockingbird the heck out of them. Okay, this is good. We start with Tommy. They Karakas it. That's a bummer. I'm not going to fetch basics here. I think we Guide Souls and then we can Tommy with Brainstorm backup. I think that's the line. I don't care that much about Tommy that I'm willing to put her out yet. Because it would be devastating if they just played Karakas. We'll keep. This is a good hand. With Felia, we can surprise, like, oh, that thing that you wanted to come back isn't coming back. Like, Johnny, he's never coming back. His brother's going to be so devastated. But his brother is just a mere cat token, unnamed. So he doesn't get the... He doesn't get to turn into an angry planeswalker. There we go. No, they always have the freaking plow. Okay, well, I think this is actually a matchup where it's worth just going ahead and playing Tomio and flipping Tomio. If we play a Johnny, that could work too. Oh my goodness, what do we do here? Yeah, I mean, like, Tomio is never going to do anything for us. Hopefully they don't have Solitude. Yeah, I'm just going to flip her. Then at least she can start going north. And like if they have Felia, it completely wrecks us. Holy cow, this is a lot of not land. But we do have the Guided Souls Ocelot Pride combo. I think Containment Priest is a few turns off. Yeah, we know we're not getting land, so Wasteland is extremely dangerous here. But we do have our 1 mana combo. And we do have Tomio distracting them. And we drew a plow too, which is nice. Okay. Tomio flips. Let's plus. Let's pass. And I will, if they leave mana up, then I'm going to assume they have Felia and I'll just plow her. Because I don't want her messing with my Tomio. Guide. Do you have the Nicodle too? You do. Or the Ocelot Pride, rather. It's fine. Sadly, I'm going to be able to guide, but I'm not going to... Wait. Actually, maybe it makes sense to go ahead and just guide in the Coddle, and then I've got mine going, but I've got Tomio taking up a 2. Does that make sense? They're 1 turn ahead. I also think it might be fine to just exile the Ocelot Pride and play my Guided Souls. That way... Actually, I think I go after their Guided Souls. They don't have good attacks. Yeah. So they can't gain life through, like, lifelink here because they're debuffed. Okay, so when this creature enters, search your library for a basic plains card or a creature card with mana 1 value or less. They may be going and getting a second Guided Souls. I'm really glad I went after their Guided Souls, by the way. Like, they would be doing crazy stuff. They got a Guided Souls. Okay. So now I think I have to Ocelot Pride and plow their Guided Souls. I've got somewhat of a combo going on my side of the table too. And I've got a broken Planeswalker. Yeah, it's very frustrating to play against Tomio. Like, it basically invalidates their entire deck. Like, they have to somehow kill this. I'm not sure how they do. They're probably not playing Prismatic Ending in their monocolored deck. And if I draw half my deck, like, I am definitely going to win. Like, there's no ambiguity there. Like, I will just completely outpace them. Iganjo. My opponent is definitely a fan of utility lands. Plow, that's fine. All right. Well, they didn't have anything that disrupts my ability to draw half my deck, so I'm going to draw half my deck. Velia, that's fine. I don't think that changes anything. I'll just plow her when I find a plow, because I definitely don't want her around. Okay, so let's take a look. Oh, I can't plow her because... let's make this small enough that I can see. My deck is too big. So I think we just waste this, and then we plow her, and then I probably just play another Guide of Souls. Alternatively, we could just Guide of Souls. I definitely want to waste that. I have tons of time. I'm going to sort my hand. This is very awkward to do, but my graveyard doesn't matter. I need maximum horizontal real estate. Okay, so I'm going to move force over here. My opponent is making me play it out, which is rare. So I have 2 forces. I have 2 plows. Containment Priest. I think wasting is correct. They have 1 card in hand. I don't think they have any chance of survival here. So I'm going to go ahead and waste. Then I'm going to plow. I only have 1 plow though. But I don't want this Velia. And then, yeah, they scooped out after that. What else was I going to do here? Like, I mean, it doesn't really matter. We're in garbage time. We've got double force up. But they did make me think there. Like, I think probably just Guide of Souls and then chill. And then, like, they can attack in. But Guide of Souls is 1/2. So it doesn't matter that Ocelot Pride has lifelink. It dies in combat. I force anything they try to do. Yeah, we're 4-0 going into the final round. See you there. Final round. We're on the play. We've been so lucky with die rolls this league. It's crazy. I have to acknowledge that because people are always complaining about, oh, I lost the die roll again. Well, sometimes you win the die roll many consecutive times, like in this case. So I think we just want to keep this like our opponent is unknown, but we have daze. We could just, I want to have daze up, and I do want to get a Guide of Souls on. I'm going to keep. Next turn we have a Johnny, which immediately gives us Guide of Souls 2 energy, which is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and get the... And even if they waste this for some reason, we do have Island Ponder to try to find a replacement land. So this is just something I had to get used to as a control player, trying to play tempo. Like, you frequently do just have to fetch into the darkness and hope. Bloodstained Mire. Probably another Storm deck or something like that, because it's rare that I see people play Bloodstained Mire, but it could be like Blue-Black Reanimator or something. Okay. I am going to go ahead and... I mean, playing this advances our game plan on the board, but I am worried we're just going to die to some sort of crazy thing. We could go ahead and ponder first. I don't know. I'm just going to play. I'm going to do what I would do, like assuming that they're on a fair deck until they're proven otherwise. So we got our dude. We can swing for 1 here. We don't quite have enough energy to swing for more. I'm still not sold on this card. Like, every other card feels insane, but like, I think we've cast this like maybe twice, and I'm just not sure if it's good. If they entomb at the end step, I'll be very sad. I will daze it, but likely they'll be able to... Oh, okay. We're on... Okay, it's probably Storm. Or Show and Tell. I'm happy. I'm grateful that there was at least 1 fair matchup that we got to play this league. Like, I cherish those matchups, like against Unique Username 3. One of the best names on MTGO. I cherish those types of matchups. It looks like we're just up against the Epic Storm again. So next turn, I am definitely going to be pondering, trying to find a force. Yeah, there's the Petal. They have lots of mana. Veil. We could daze this, and that might spook them into slowing down. I think we have to, frankly. We have to go for it. Okay, that reduces their mana. Does that change anything? They get to draw a card now. That's not good for us. Was that a mistake? I don't think so. I think we need to spook them if we want to have any chance of winning. LED. Okay, we're gonna die. Unless they whiff. Gamble. Another LED. They've got so much mana and they've got Veil Protection. I feel like this is extremely over. Double Echo. Okay. All right. Like, I'm pretty good at beating this deck. I probably got like a 60% win rate against it, but we're starting off with a loss, which is not good. I might have like a 70 or 80% win rate against it. It's a great deck. And Brian Cook is a genius, but that doesn't mean that like I suspect that this is one of those Doomsday type decks where you just have to have an extremely high amount of skill. Yeah, I think they've got the deterministic kill here. Oh, they're echoing again? Okay, I can't stop anything. I might as well just F6. Storm is 9. They got 3 mana floating. Surely they found like another LED. Okay, every time they spin, they are taking one of those out of their deck though. There's an echo. Okay, we're going to go again. It's a lot of storm. Okay, so that's one less echo. Our hand is actually not that terrible. It's not great. We can ponder. We do have 1 daze up. Yeah, they have 3 of these in exile now. 3 mana floating. Mox Opal. Chrome Mox. So they're going to get Metalcraft. They're going to have another burst of mana. Haywire Might. Okay, that doesn't do anything against us. But that does give them Metalcraft. Beseech. Okay, so we're not necessarily... No, wait, we are dead. They just go get Tendrils, and we're dead. But I'm going to see if they remember that. They should. Face down card. Okay, yeah, good game. Okay. That was not even remotely close, even though we had an insane start. Yeah, they had a protected... I think that was turn 2. So no Rod comes in. We're going to do the full transfusion. I'll bring in the endings, even though they kind of suck. I'll take out the plows. I'm going to take out the Guided Souls. We're just going to go Ocelot Prize here. And I'm going to take out Johnny. So we're going to turtle up and we're going to play like a mono blue control deck that has some awkward white cards in it that don't count toward force. We're going to have to win twice like this. Okay. This hand slaps. Doesn't really do anything immediately other than ponder and hopefully find good stuff. But I don't even feel comfortable pondering. I'm just going to chill with Consign Up. Yep. I'll keep it though. And we don't even have the Surveil because we're a tempo deck. So I'm going to just chill and we'll see what we naturally draw. But I will have Consign for Bridge or whatever it's called, Defense Grid, if they try to do that. Okay, Hydro is good. I feel like now I can't afford to ponder because this Mockingbird is on. I want to get my Nekadal out. But I can't do it this turn. I'll do it next turn. These cards are so good. It's so painful to put them back. But we don't want this island. We need to find the Nekadal. But like, I think Brainstorm is a very good insurance policy here. I'm going to actually I'll draw that next turn. And I'm going to take the Force Negation just in case we need to double Force here. They're fetching. Please make me fight now. I'm ready to fight now. I'll Brainstorm next turn and shuffle away that island. Then I'll have Hardcast Force Negation mana as well. It's fine. I don't fight the mana. I sadly do have to force this. Okay, and that worked. That kept them at bay for a turn. But our resources are thinned because they got a 2-for-1 on us. So I do want to find the Nekadal. No Rod's great. Let's stick it. This goes back. Daze is maybe okay. Yeah, I even forgot No Rod was in the deck, but it's a great thing to find here. I think we're going to be tapped out. I'm going to put back a Hydroblast. I mean, Consign is so good. Oh, yeah, Consign can like save us at the end of the game. We need to stick this No Rod now in the face of their double LEDs, though. Okay, that's in. That's just off 12 cards in the deck. Maybe more. They're going to Surveil here. Got double interaction up. If they try to like wipe this No Rod away for some reason, they're probably not boarding in their anti-artifact hate. against our deck that has no other artifacts other than these null rods in the 75. It's worth noting that had I been playing the Clarion Conqueror, I would not have been able to play it this turn. And that might have made all the difference. I mean, we're looking at 2 face-up Lion's Eye Diamonds, right? Like, it's really the card that makes their deck work. They've been on artifact, so that was an effective surveil. Okay, we could do that to these constructs. I might have to just take away their ability to create constructs just because it's a very real kind of like... So just could get something with Storm. Oh, man, I don't want to do this because we're like going completely shields down. They're probably going to get the Gift of Fish thing. Yeah, I'm going to let it go. And then I'll try to daze it if they try to go for it this turn. I don't know that they can get something that is uncounterable like Corrosive Grip type things. Void Snare. Okay, what does Void Snare do? It's just a bounce effect, right? Only permanent 2. Okay, and there is an instant. Oh, it's a sorcery? Oh, yeah, it has to be sorcery if they're going to get it off that. All right. We don't know what we're drawing because we fetched. I just need to get the Nikaido out and start beating them down. And I probably do need to consign on this, like realistically. Mockingbird doesn't do anything other than serve as a blue card in our hand, which is totally reasonable. I'm not going to play it out like by itself. It's not worth playing out. So I am going to probably just consign this, unfortunately. I think it's worth copying. I don't know how they might have like untimely malfunction or something. I don't know. But I think couldn't they copy my copy to direct my copy to... Okay. I have to pay the mana. Wait. Cancel. Oh man, I forgot how confusing this consign to memory interface is. Okay, let's try again. Cast with replicate. I don't know why I'm doing this. In case they have Veil. But Veil doesn't actually stop anything here. Wait, I replicate 1 time. Okay. That worked. I just choose same targets. And now I have to force this Void Snare, which sucks. Oh, they have another one. Oh no, we're going to die to constructs. Oh my goodness, the trophy is going to be lost at the Epic Storm. Again, I don't want to sound disrespectful, but like, oh my goodness. Yeah, well, that is going to be forced, unfortunately. Yeah, and I've got to keep the daze up just as... Please don't Veil. If you have Veil too, I'll be so tilted. Wait, I mean, that would just bounce it for 1 turn, but 1 turn is all they need. They do have the mana to start creating constructs. I'm so screwed. This is a disaster. Tomio, save us. You're not going to save us. There's no way you can save us in time because they're going to have so many constructs. They got so lucky getting that second Urza Saga. So this one just goes and searches for nothing like they can be activated. I don't think they could go get the if they have that Haywire Might actually. Oh, Haywire Might. Oh my goodness. That's going to exile this. Oh, I forgot about Haywire Might. Don't have it in your deck, please. For once, just don't have Haywire Might. This Urza Saga angle like makes the deck so much better than the traditional one. Okay, they just had an LED. It's going to be in there next time. I guarantee it. Okay, so they are going to be able to create 2 of these constructs, unfortunately. If this ever goes, the game is over. Like, we will definitely get destroyed. Oh my goodness, are we going to get to daze something? What is this? Starting with you, each player votes for return or embark. If you return, gets 2 or more votes, each player returns up to 2 cards from their graveyard to their hand. Okay, I'm going to daze this. And then we'll see whether you have an answer to that. All I know is like I'm in serious trouble because of these constructs, but like apparently they decided not to play a construct. I think they got a little antsy there. Yeah, I would have just made constructs. I don't know what the hurry is. Like I've got a freaking Tomio. That's all I've got. Except for another Tomio. Let's go ahead and attack. I'm not feeling good, but like my opponent just punted hard. They absolutely should have just started creating constructs. Their constructs would be gigantic. They still get 1 gigantic construct, and that's probably still going to be enough to kill me. But yeah. Like, I don't mind losing, but losing when my opponent punts like that, like, do we want to go ahead and do this now? We could leave it on the table just in case they get out from under it somehow. There's no... Wait, I can't activate it. I can't even use it. Oh my goodness, I'm so dumb. Well, if they clear this, then I can use it. But if I clear this, I'm dead. Okay. So they are creating the giant construct that is going to rain down on us 5/5 currently. It's going to be a 6/6. We find Prismatic Ending. We find Brazen Borrower. That's out of the picture. They do have Haywire Might. Oh, they can't activate it. I forgot you can't activate it. That's so sweet. Okay. Stay calm. Let's see what we draw. Land. That's terrible. Okay, so what we're going to have to do is basically just... we can attack one more time and create a clue that... Like, I think we don't. I think we just be patient and we block the Haywire Might every turn. They found more land, but it's not on Urza Saga, thankfully. Okay, so we're going to take 6 here. We're dead in like 3 turns. All we need to do is find a Brazen Borrower, and that will both clear up the construct and provide us with a win con. We have 2 Brazen Borrowers in the deck. Please. Oh my goodness, deck. Come on. I don't want to fetch the Thin. I feel like it's terrible. I might have to actually block this. I don't want to go too low in life. We have tons of life gain. Why can't we ever find any of our cards? Well, I boarded them all out so I could be able to control the stack, and now I'm dying to the construct plan. Sorry. I'm like trying to keep my composure and make good decisions here. I think the play is to hold this in case we draw a Brainstorm and not fetch the Thin. And I also think the play is to chump Haywire Might one more turn. Or block Haywire Might, rather. And then I can always play out a Tomio as like a janky time walk. Yeah, I mean, I would be dead so long ago if my opponent had just made the construct. I'd be dead right now. Okay, they have something to address our Null Rod now. Into the Flood Maw. So that happens. And I believe we're just completely dead. They don't need to do this. They could just attack. They have to go for the Echo of Eons right now. It's black. I mean, they could just Tendril us from here if they have the mana, which I think they do. Oh, they dumped their entire hand. Okay, yeah, they have Tendrils in there and Echo. So if I draw exactly a force effect, I can counter this and they will have shrunk construct substantially. It's worth trying. Question is, do I fetch the Thin before I do it? Because I want to max the likelihood that I find a force effect. We've got a lot in our deck we could find. They don't have a second one. So if I stop this, I mean, like I'm alive. That doesn't work. Feeling pretty dead. All right, so we get a new hand. We do have stuff. I mean, Tomio flips. Okay, we have Consign, so we can stop the storm. I think that's really all we can do. Like, hope that they don't Thoughtseize us, and then we are somehow able to consign their storm trigger. But we still lose 2 life. Dark Ritual. Petal. Of course, it never shows the storm count when it's relevant. I don't know why MTGO just randomly starts showing the storm count sometimes. Maybe it's like it actually has to be in their hand. Yeah, the Burning Wish. I can't stop this. This probably gets a... Oh, there's the Tendrils. Okay. So we're going to stop the... is there like a Hydroblast? I think I'm supposed to go ahead and just copy it just in case. So we do lose 2 life. We do get a turn. We've got Tomio that can tick up. We've got... Don't tell me you have another storm in hand. Okay. Well, those were good games. Again, frustrating that the Urza Saga angle got me. But my deck, I don't know what to say. Like, I had to force... I think I had to force that early Veil. You never know. Like, you should probably always force it. That was so close to a trophy. Obviously, we lost both of those games in the final round, but we beat the deck earlier in the league handily 2-0. And I feel like this... Like, if you build your sideboard where you've got like force negations and consigns and stuff like that, and Hydroblast, very important, I feel like you should have a reasonable expectation to be able to beat Storm. But sometimes, you know, things just don't work out. That's what happened there. This list was a lot of fun. I don't like Ajani. I think he's way too slow, and it's not clear what he does. What I want to do is try to find some other creature. I think the light sail might actually be better. This is what I was playing. What is it? Light stall. Yeah, it's called light stall. Like light stall Inquisitor. So this card is pretty meh, but I don't know what else to put in the slot. One card that occurred to me, but it just seems so old, is Judge Familiar. Let me pull it up here. So this is both blue and white, and it's kind of like it's like a flying hex catcher, basically. Sacrifice this creature, counter target instant or sorcery spell unless its controller pays 1. Like with the amount of combo we were facing, this actually isn't that bad. But Lightstall is much better because it's 2/1 and it has vigilance and it can come in and like actually do something proactive, whereas this just sits around until it's ready to be used, at which point it doesn't, the effect costs you the card. So I do think Lightstall is the one that would be played here. So I'm going to try doing this again with Lightstall. I feel like it is better positioned. But I had a really fun time playing this league. I do think that this archetype is good. I mean, Guide of Souls, Ocelot Pride by itself is really strong, but especially with Guide of Souls. And then just having like, you know, all like Tomio was broken the entire league and stuff like that, doing crazy stuff. So I would encourage you, if you're looking for a fair tempo shell and you don't want to just play blue-black like everybody else, this seems to be pretty good. Again, my record is 2 4-1s and a 3-2 with this list. And the previous 4-1 was with the Lightstalls. Everything else, I wasn't playing Tomio at that time. You should play Tomio, even though I can't stand the play patterns and I'm so bored with her. She's so powerful that you should play her. I think not playing her is probably a mistake. Mockingbird 4X is really, there were lots of situations where it was bad, but it was always a blue card in my hand for force and for force negation, which is very important. This never came in. I think maybe this is not the right card. Like, I wouldn't mind just going up to 4 of these. I often play 4 of them because, you know, you run into a lot of storm and stuff like that. Consigned to Memory was okay. Dress Down could also be a card. But we don't have any adverse impact from being dress downing. Dress Down is a blue card. It clears constructs. You don't want to play Wrath of the Skies because you don't want to blow up your own stuff. But yeah, I think maybe this could be a Dress Down. Dress Down is one of those Swiss Army cards that can just be brought in any given matchup. Really good against like big white strategies, as well as obviously any construct type strategy. It can be good against Moonstompy as well. So that's where I'm going to leave it. I had a blast playing this list. I hope you're enjoying my brewing. I know this is not a no reserve list, which I've been trying to do as much reserve, but you can't play no reserve list tempo unless you're doing mono blue Delver, which is not very good, frankly. It's just not very strong, in my opinion. You're like way better off playing red for plow or red for bolt or white for plow or black for push. And you'll note that like there is technically like a blue or green tempo type deck that plays like Beanstalk and like really big Delve creatures and stuff like that. That's an off meta deck, but that's the closest I think there is to like a blue green tempo. But you could consider Infect that as well, but I don't think Infect is particularly strong. And I say that as somebody who like for it to be good, but they're never going to print any more cards that are good for it. They like Wizards is like allergic to poison counters for some reason. Like the Toxic card, like Toxic is so weak compared to Infect, right? So yeah, I think that like if you're looking for blue-white strategies, definitely look for the Guide of Souls and Ocelot Pride combo as kind of your replacements for DRC and Delver, and consider Lightstall as well. I will probably try to get this on the channel. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.